We are in the GMT kitchen in honor of Black History Month. Today we're diving into cuisine rooted in resilience, creativity, and culture. Soul food tells the story of West and Central African tradition shaped by survival and transformed into some of the most beloved dishes in the South today. So here to tell us so much more and show us how to make it and make sure we get it right when it comes to the culture is food and culture historian Deah Mitchell. So glad to have you.
I am glad to be here.
Welcome
Thank you for
back
having me.
indeed.
And
Okay.
happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month. We're just getting started. It's only the third
That's
day.
right.
Let's talk
Yeah.
food. Why is this style of cooking such a staple in Black history and honestly just Southern cuisine all around the world?
Together,
yeah.
right. So I always tell people, I feel like soul food is the greatest novel ever written on a plate. So let me explain by that. You have celebration, you have joy, but there's also trauma and sadness. And for me, that dates back to, sure, we have it rooted in Black American history, but that spans back to West Africa, and as you mentioned, also Central Africa. And so when those enslaved Africans were captured and brought over to the States, it's all about how they began to really take what they had and remember techniques or different ingredients that they worked with in the past and how they were able to develop them into new creations. And it's beautiful.
It is. It is. It's almost watching them cope with this newfound life, right? And so they're doing it in a way, because listen, we all cope a little bit when it comes to food. You brought some examples here this morning. I would love if you could tell us briefly about the story of each and how they kind of ended up on the table or in the Southern cuisine category.
Yeah, I would love to. So let's start with the mac and cheese first. So everyone loves macaroni and cheese, but few people know, or maybe more people know now, Chef James Hemings was a Black chef, an enslaved Black chef for Thomas Jefferson, and he was also the first American to learn how to cook in France. He brought those skills back over here.
Wow.
And he made macaroni and cheese. That was like a specialty.
Listen, we be tearing up macaroni and cheese, and we don't even think about the fact of what the history is behind it.
And it actually used to be very aristocratic, but not anymore.
Look, now we all get the macaroni and cheese. Tell me a little bit about the sweet potatoes.
So sweet potatoes, you know, we were talking about rations that were included in the enslaved African Americans' weekly rations, and sweet potatoes were sometimes included. They got on normally 3 to 5 pounds worth for 1 week. And so they had to make those stretch. Sweet potatoes were extremely popular, even outside of rations after post-emancipation. So, yeah.
My goodness. Okay, let's move on to my favorite dish that is on the table, some collard greens.
That is also a favorite of mine. So those are actually collard greens. And collard greens themselves aren't from West Africa or even Africa. They're actually from Greece. But collard greens, the technique, remember when we were talking about memory and remembering techniques that were used? Those same techniques were used for tropical greens that were grown in West Africa.
Nice.
And so they brought them here, and it's cooked the very same way.
This is why I love Black History Month, because you get in tune with information you had no idea even existed. I mean, I had no idea about the connection in West Africa. Tell me more about probably the most fragrant dish on the table. Oh, this looks good.
One of my favorites, those are possum neck bones. So you're gonna try some.
Yo, okay, let's get into it. I think you actually bought some ingredients.
They're actually not, they're not possum.
Oh my gosh, Deah, I thought you were serious. Listen, we had to ration back in the day, okay? Listen, time was hard.
I say that because possum with roast sweet potatoes were very popular during enslavement, but I'm not gonna do you like that today.
Okay, what we got today?
Yeah, today we have beef neck bones and turkey neck bones.
Okay, but culturally accurate would be the possum.
Culturally accurate
got
would
it,
be
got
the
it.
possum,
Okay, girl, you got me. I can't lie. You got me. Okay, so we got some neck bones here.
We have some neck bones here. What I normally like to do is start by seasoning them. And so they've already been seasoned for you, seasoned to your liking. And then after that, you can go ahead.
Until the ancestors tell you to stop.
Until the ancestors, that's right. So there are a couple of different ways you can make this dish. Both of them are so easy.
Okay.
So the way that we're going to do it today is I actually brought my grandmother's cast iron skillet
skillet
for you.
I love it.
So she is here with us.
Yes, indeed.
So
okay, shout out to Grandma.
What we're going to do is We are going to, did you want to do this? Do you want me to do it?
I'm happy to help.
Okay, so first we're going to kind of just dust these neck bones. We don't want to get too much because we're not going to deep fry, although deep frying is also from West Africa.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, I know that's right because we all love a good fried food. Okay?
We're just going to dust them very lightly. Like I said, they're already pre-seasoned.
And after the flour is on, what step do we go from here? Do we need to put oil in the cast iron at all?
Yeah, we're going to put the oil in the cast iron. So we're going to pretend we have oil in here right now. And so this has already been preheated.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and drop that in. All we're going to do is, you can't hear the sizzle, but I promise you it's going to be sizzling.
Yes, indeed.
We're going to let that sizzle for about 2 to 3 minutes per side.
Okay. And then do we flip them? And then 2 to 3 sides again?
2 to 3 minutes per side, and then flip it. After that, you're going to see a very brown, light brown color around the edges. That's what you want.
Okay.
So after you get that, we're going to take this out. And like I said, we're going to flip it over, pretend that this has been already cooked.
And then do we go about as far as gravy? And obviously we can make the rice. The gravy's super easy. And do you do that in the pan as well?
After you take out this, what's left in the pan is going to be the fond. You're going to put this in.
And that makes your roux,
and that's going to make, you're going to reduce that down for your gravy. Add your neck bones back in after that, and then throw it in the oven, or you can keep it on top of the stove.
Very good. Okay, just to give it a little boil, a little extra. Okay, I like it. This is awesome. And you guys, Deah doesn't just do cooking, you guys. The last time she was here, she was giving us tips on books, I believe. And so she's very well-rounded when it comes to the culture and Black history. Tell us where we can find you for so much more.
Oh, yeah. So I just started a new publication. It's called Roadies Magazine. It's all about Texas food, travel, and history. So find me there at Deah@roadies.com.
Deah, thanks so much for being here, and happy Black History Month to you, my girl.
Same to you.
In the Kitchen is sponsored by Tom Thumb and Albertsons, your one-stop shop and full-service grocer.